What's up, everybody? It's your boy Aarick Urban, episode 2 of Peep Game TV. I'm in Danforth Middle School right now, talking to this legend, this man that's saving lives out here. My man JT Houston. Say what up to the people.
What's going on, everybody? Just to be clear, I'm not saving lives by myself. I got an amazing team and amazing teammates.
So this guy
can't do it by myself.
He's modest as well, as you can see. So we're here in Danforth. The more I talk to this guy, the more I learn about him. I came here to talk fitness. I've been referred to him from multiple people saying he's out here, getting their body in shape, getting their body right for the summer. But then I found out he's out here changing kids' lives as well. If you want to talk about a little about what you do for Danforth and the programs you're working with.
So here at Danforth, working with behavior specialists, but not just that, trying to instill some positivity in the lives of the young people here. So talking to them about the importance of staying active, staying healthy, staying around people that will keep them on track. So the importance of not surrounding yourself with people that are getting in constant trouble. These kids are young, so they're 6th, 7th, 8th grade. Right. Being that I was one of those kids that got into a lot of trouble at that age, I can kind of talk to them about what I did to get out of it. Mm-hmm. And the pitfalls of going down that path even further, because I have friends that, kind of ended up in a really bad situation due to the lifestyle that they were living. So here, we go on field trips. We have an amazing team that comes in, George Kilpatrick, Inspiration for the Nation, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity. They also come in. So we do a group every Tuesday. We meet with the boys. And not all the boys, but we had a group of 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, taking them on field trips, instilling them with the values that they have in their fraternity. I'm not part of their fraternity, but I'm still part of a brotherhood, which is those guys mentor me. I learn from them, and the things that I learn from that particular group, I instill in the young people here in every school that we go into. So it's a great opportunity to teach and mold the young men and women. So
right.
We work with the young women as well. So
exactly. So where do you find the time in the day?
Oh,
How do you find the energy to do that, work with kids all day,
mm-hmm.
and then train and work with these clients and try to get their body fit? Can you talk a little bit about H2 Fitness, what you do with your, the fitness side of your business and things of that nature?
So actually not even finding the time, I create the time. I created a system that I don't make any excuses. I said, mm-hmm. I want to get this done. This is my passion. No one ever supported what I was doing from the beginning. It was like, all right, it was like a fight or flight time, right? So when I started doing all of this, it was, how do I create something that I wanted in the midst of what some would seem to be chaos? Like I was getting ready to go through a layoff at the district 5 years ago. Left one job, going through a breakup. It was a whole bunch going on, right? Mm-hmm. And I still I decided that it was something that I always wanted to do. I was certified as a trainer, and I was prior to that I was working for a facility where, I didn't see the value. They didn't see the value in what I was providing, and I felt that, and it was seen clearly. So I felt like I needed to do something more. And at the time, I wasn't necessarily working with the people in my community, and I wanted to change the look of the community. So I literally just started outdoors with no support, no solid, no income. Like this was zero income. So you can start a business with zero, right? If you have the mindset and some common knowledge of the subject or that you're going to go into and you're passionate, mm-hmm. you can do anything. So started H2 Fitness 5 years ago today. Yeah, today. Today's the 5th year anniversary. And started with small groups. And I guess it was all word of mouth. I did very little promotion to do anything. It was literally word of mouth. And I positioned myself right in a corner, so people saw us out the doors working out. So I was in the corner of Stope and Get. It's a pretty busy area, right? And they see everybody working out. So slowly more and more people started coming over and saw what I put together. And then the lovely Elena Hughes, who's part of the business now, I was her trainer. Elena's down 50 pounds now. Wow. Because of the training that I put together and the style and the technique that we still use today. She's down 50 pounds now. So I don't know if you ever saw her before and after, anybody that's watching this. Shout out to Elena Hughes. I brought Elena on to help with paperwork initially.
Really?
After I started. So she started off doing paperwork, and my payment to her was my training.
Was training.
So she got paid to. She got paid in training. I didn't have to give her cash, but she reaped the benefits by learning from me, and utilizing it to stay fit and active and healthy. And now she can take what she learned from me, and she's doing it every single day. And she is now inspiring women. And when we go and travel, now we're traveling not just in Syracuse. We travel outside of Syracuse to different states. And we also been out of the country, which we're going to do again in September. We're going to Mexico. Last year, Costa Rica, and we did some training in Costa Rica as well. So it's been quite a journey from starting with absolutely nothing to being able to travel and help all over the city, and it's been great.
Cool. So is your story one of those where you was super overweight as a kid? And
No.
how did fitness become such a huge part of your life?
No, I was never overweight, and some of my friends, and my mentor makes fun of me because he always said, "Well, you don't know the struggle that
Right?
we had because I wasn't overweight." Now I've had my own struggles. I did battle with. My battle was going from college to coming to it and playing basketball in college and being extremely active to coming back to. For me, coming back here would be like a sedentary lifestyle. Like I wasn't moving. I wasn't as active. Playing basketball, you nonstop running, you crazy lean. So I had to make an adjustment. And in the midst of that adjustment, being in a relationship at the time, I gained like 35 pounds. So you go from being a college athlete to kind of just hanging out, you gain a lot of weight. It's easy because you're not as active. But it's been a pretty great journey. My struggle also. Right at the second year of business, I actually, second and third. So second year of business, I fractured my tibia.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Balling?
It was compound, so it was over time. Okay. So it wasn't actually playing. It was like me running, exercising, just not taking care of my wear and tear, and the fractures I didn't let heal. So it was me not listening to my body, and then they got worse. So I had double fractures in my tibia, and they had to put a metal rod in there. So that was one surgery. And then the very next year, on the same exact day, I had surgery. And I tore my Achilles tendon at the gym. It was leaky ceiling. It was a freak accident. And the floor basketball court was wet and tore just like that.
Wow.
So that was pretty challenging.
So
but
some struggle.
Yeah, it's a big time struggle. Like I could have just gave up and said, I'm not going to train anybody anymore.
Right.
Because I need to be active. I'm the creator. Like the creator can't move around. Like that was crazy. But I rehabbed very quickly from the first and the second one. Was about each one was about I want to say a month and a half, 3 months for each for me to be walking. When the doctors were saying like a year and a half. They told me I would walk with a limp, and this is all in the same leg. I walk with a limp, my leg will never be the same. I won't be able to jump. I won't be able to sprint. I won't be able to everything they said I'm doing now. So. I'm a true testament to, you can overcome anything if you keep the right mindset and you constantly push your limits to see what you can do. And then do it in a smart way. I didn't just go out there and start sprinting. I went out there in a very safe way and made sure that I still listened to the doctors, but I rehabbed on my own. And obviously I'm in a field where I have to know how to take care of a body. So I did that in and outside of the hospital or physical therapy. I did more physical therapy on my own than we did at physical therapy. So before we even got to sit down at a table, I had already did something in the morning to help what they were going to do. So, yeah, I hope that answered your question.
Oh, no, that definitely answered the question.
Yeah.
So do you ever try to combine the two worlds, working with kids and the health and wellness? Do you teach the kids about ways to keep their body right, eat right? Because that's a big part of wellness and just being a active member of society.
Yeah. So I actually created a kids program as well. So on top of the regular job that I have, I created a kids program. The acronym spells out film. Obviously, I got to change it because it should be more about fitness. But it's fitness, inspiration, leadership, and motivation. Okay. So, but ultimately it's under the umbrella of H2 Fitness. So it's been... I think a little over 5 years since I created that. So about 6 years since I created that program in particular. And it was primarily geared towards after school programming. Working in the Syracuse City School District. Shout out to the Syracuse City School District. I'm here right now in my room. But the program, I wanted the kids to be more active.
Right.
obviously, because that's the world I'm in. And so I created a cooking program for the kids. I created a class called Around the World. And what I would do is I take a globe and we spin the globe. So, and wherever it landed on, that was the unit we would learn about for 2 weeks. So I let the kids, and I had second, third, fourth graders. So each group got a chance to spin a globe, and for 2 weeks we would learn about whatever country that was. So not only did the kids learn about the country, the culture, they learned about what type of foods they ate, what type of activities the kids did in their society in order to stay active and healthy. And then they also got to cook something from that region. So we would do research, find an item. Typically in other countries, they eat a lot healthier than we do in America.
Right.
So every 2 to 3 weeks, they would get a full unit of everything, play the games that they play, learn about the culture, and then cook the food that has. Yeah.
And it keeps them interested.
Keeps them interested, keeps it different, and then they're picking. So I allow the kids to tell me the type of things that they want to do, and then we create together a unit, so we do what they enjoy. And it's big on like team building and leadership, and encourage them to be positive constantly. You got to push positivity to the kids, because our society in Syracuse, we kind of see the negativity. I grew up in those environments where it's gang violence and negative talk that turns into negative self-talk, and then that turns into that cycle repeats itself as the kids grow up, as they talk to their friends. So I wanted to create a different environment for the kids. And I think for the most part, if I'm speaking to 25 kids and I'm only able to reach 5, well, that's 5 lives that I've helped. And I'm sure later on it'll click for some of the other kids. Like I remember Mr. Houston was talking to me about this, and this, and it'll hopefully change their outlook on life a little bit.
Cool. So earlier you talked about going from being active, balling every day, to coming back here and working, and it's hard to stay active when you're working. Yeah, I just finished school, and I got this 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And I can't go to the gym in between classes. I don't have time to ball anymore. I'm tired after work. So what is your advice for people that work all day, or maybe a workout they can do during breaks or something like that? How do people stay active when they're working this 9 to 5 lifestyle?
All right, so the first thing you want to not do is say one word that you said twice when explaining that to me. And what you said was can't.
Right.
And you said it 2 times. So in all of my classes, I push. There's two things that can never happen.
Okay.
Number 1, never say can't.
Never say can't.
Because there's always a way that you can create, right?
For sure.
Number 2 is never say I'm tired. All right? Because the things that we say, we create. You say I can't do something, guess what? You ain't going to be able to do it. You say I'm tired, guess what? You're now tired. Even if you feel physically tired. Now just think about at work. You may be, some people sitting at a desk all day, and then they tell me via email or text, I'm tired. You don't understand. An active lifestyle actually gives you more energy. Believe it or not.
I believe that.
If you're healthy and you're exercising, you have more you have more energy. If you're sitting around all day, you're going to be fatigued. From sitting down, your muscles aren't moving, so you actually lose the muscle that you would have had if you were on your feet. You got to think, your legs are stronger because of the amount of activity that you do to get them strong.
Right.
The less you're on them, the weaker they get. So to answer your question about what can you do when you're tired, you have to do something. You create a regimen in the morning. What I noticed for most of my clients, and I've trained a lot of people, from our groups to for the personal training over the past few years, has been like almost 2,000 people, because we're working with the large groups, we're traveling. But I always say the same thing. Starting something in the morning is key, because if you can start doing, even if it's 10 to 15 minutes or something, it'll create healthier you, and you create what we call a constant burn. So if you start to burn fat in the morning, your metabolism kicks in, and you continue to burn calories throughout the day. So that's like a main thing. Do something in the morning to get your day started. And obviously the bigger thing is what you're putting in your body. Like we're not meant to live off of processed products. And if you guys don't know what that means, that's something in a package, in a box, in a can, even things that are in the frozen food sections that's already pre-made for you. We have to be real and say we're going to stop being lazy, because pretty much that's what happens a lot. Like it's quick. Everything is quick, right? these foods are meant to be like enjoyed at, you know, short periods of time. You can have it from time to time, but we turned it into an everyday, all because of convenience. Everything's convenient for us here. Now, if we lived in another country where we don't have all these things readily available, we're going to eat what we have, like fruits and vegetables. We're going to grow the food. You're going to go hunt for the food. And you're going to be lean constantly because you're active, because you got to go hunt. You got to go farm, so you're active. And you can't go drive to the store to get it, so you're going to walk to go get whatever you need to get. So I think over time it's become convenient to just, you know, go grab something real quick. But do a little bit of research and realize that that food isn't real food anyway. Like it's leftover. You know, I won't even get too in depth with what the food is from fast food places. And I'm not saying don't ever have it. What I'm saying is we need to make sure that we're creating, we have foods that are real foods. We have fresh vegetables. We have lean meats if you're a meat eater. We drink lots of water. The sugary drinks are what's killing us because of all the sugar. The sugar is what causes the fat gain. And that sugar also creates what's killing our communities, which is high blood pressure, diabetes. And not just sweet things. Processed, and when I say processed, I mean like the breads. These are like simple carbohydrates. The breads, the pasta, these are all enriched, cheaply made things that turn into sugar in our body, which is raising our glucose levels, which leads to high blood pressure, diabetes, hypertension, you name it. It affects people's thyroids, everything. I can go on and on the list, but it's all related to food. So I think you have to create a healthier balance with the things that you put into your body and live a more happy and active lifestyle. And I know I'm not saying, you know, I have boot camps, I have kickboxing classes, we do line dance, all levels of fitness, right? I'm not saying jump right out there and you got to do boot camp because it's the best thing or it's my thing. My issue, or the one thing that I wanted to do when I started this was make sure that people realize that fitness isn't something that you do once a week. This is an everyday kind of thing. So create a healthy balance for yourself and your life will be a lot better.
Two things I want to touch on that you spoke of. Dieting is super trendy, right? So everyone, you talk about processed foods, everyone's going vegan these days. Everyone's juicing. What's your thoughts on doing that?
I don't believe in diets ever. I believe that's why I say healthy lifestyle, right? You create a balance for yourself. I think you have to find what works for you. And I can guarantee you one thing, processed foods don't work for anybody. Right. So that's not something we're going to be real about that one. That's not something that works. You can have it, but the long-term effects, if you get to make it that long, the long-term effects, never good. It hasn't been good for anybody. Nobody lives forever on processed food. But you can mix. I'm not saying just go vegan, because if you didn't live in America, protein isn't that bad. Like the meats aren't horrible for you. They're bad because of the way that we produce meat here in the United States. The antibiotics, the steroids that's used, the fillers that are used, all of that stuff is what's wrong with American meats, right? Even vegetables, right? The way we process it, the way we kill the bugs, all of this stuff we use to make it look pretty in the store. That's the problem with the food here. And I'm not saying it's not just about going meatless. So if you're going vegan and I'm not having any animal products, you still have to watch out for what we do to the produce before it gets in the store and before you get it home. So there's a plus for not having animal proteins in the United States, obviously, because of what the chemicals and how it's processed. But so there's a plus to having the meat because we need the protein. Protein actually helps to build muscle and to help to burn fat, and it's a great energy source. But there's also vegan ways to get your protein. And we're learning that, you know, you would have the soy everything, but now you realize that too much soy is going to kill you, especially men. The estrogen levels, and for women, the estrogen levels. So I guess we can go on and on about why. There's no for sure reason. I say limit the amount of meat you have. Increase the amount of vegetables that you have, green leafy vegetables. Try to go organic. Even if you go organic, make sure you're cleaning your fruits and vegetables at home before you eat them because of what's the pesticides and everything that's on them. So there are healthy ways to clean them before you eat them. Your meats, just be as careful as you can. Do your research, find out where the meat's coming from. Is it grass-fed as opposed to if it's coming from a factory? Is it coming from another country? All of those things are important. So I think now is the time to just get a little bit more educated on where your food's coming from, what you're eating. And if you can, try to buy local, find out how that place is producing the food and what they're doing to the food before it hits your house or your plate. So that's huge, man. And then look, I'm encouraging all families to start growing some food at the house. It's easier than you think. We had kids grow food, do peppers and greens. They did all that right here at the school.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and you can do it right at home. I'm gonna start my own little garden. I'm gonna create some time for that. Like do my garden at home. So
on top of all this, he's about to start a produce.
Gotta find a way. Gotta find a way. I feel like this about life. Like there's no reason for you to pinpoint one thing you want to do in your life and say that's it. I'm just gonna do that one thing.
Right.
There's so many things out there that you can try and experience. Why not try to do these things? Every single thing that's involved with the business that I created. Like we're going to do, I don't want to go too far. You might have another question, but we do every single thing like from the mindset. This is my child mind thinking, right? I always wanted to do this. Mm-hmm. So I do it.
Right.
We just do it in a fun way, in a creative way that came from here. Nobody can ever steal what's in here. No matter who you are. If you're creative in your own right, stop looking at what other people are doing. You can do it to research, but don't do it in the respect that I'm just going to copy what they're doing.
Right. Draw inspiration.
Draw inspiration and then find a creative way to do it on your own. So that's what I do every day. Like we do fun outings. Like we getting ready to go horseback riding. And they like, black people don't go horseback riding? Well, I do. And the people that are around me, this is all part of business. We're still going to go and have fun together. It's about building a community and making sure that my community, as I see it with H2 Fitness and anybody else that's involved with me, has to be positive, be willing to try new things, and be open to experiencing life in a different way.
Cool. So one more thing, and I'm going to let you out of here.
Okay.
So correct me if I'm wrong. There seems to be like a taboo around fitness in the black community in particular.
Yes.
You know, we love our fried foods.
Mm-hmm.
Black women don't want to get their hair sweaty and thin wet. I'm just being honest, keeping it 100.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that, and what are ways that we can maybe correct that?
Man, so I can't touch on the hair part with the ladies. You know, I don't have nothing up there. I got the all I got is my shadow, like some small pieces, right? But a lot of the ladies that I train, and they're not all African Americans. I'm just speaking on that one thing, because I have heard that my hair, I'm gonna mess my hair up. Mm-hmm. Now you got to be really, really careful when just saying, "Oh, my hair." Is your hair more important than your health?
Right.
Because that one feature on you, is that more important than living life? Like you're gonna limit your life because you're only protecting that one element about yourself. Like that sounds kind of crazy. I'm very direct when I say certain things. Like I just think that's asinine. Like you protect your hair because you want your hair to look good, but in the meantime, your hospital visit because you got high blood pressure and you're diabetic, and you just eat whatever you want. I'm not going to get active. My suggestion is, I know they're going to be like, oh, they're going to get me for this. Crucify me, right? Find a way or find a style that may work for you. Like, and I'm not even suggesting this, but a lot, like 80% of the people I train have gone natural.
Yeah.
Because number one, the chemicals it's always chemicals, right? The chemicals in the stuff that they're putting in their hair, right? And if we talk about a weave, granted, that'll get sweated out and the tracks and all of that stuff, and get sweated out. Now, I know this coming from a man, and you like, he don't know, raised by nothing but women, right? So very respectful. I'm not saying this as a negative. I'm just saying that we have to find better ways to stay healthy. So I guarantee if you're famous, if Beyonce went completely natural, and the people that you follow out there are going natural, and all they push is health, and they push glamour in a natural way, most of the people, especially in our communities, they will follow it because we follow trends. Mm-hmm. And if the trend was always all natural, no more fried foods, and exercise nonstop, the gyms will be full.
They'll be on it.
Yeah, they'll be on it because it's a trend, and it's a community trend. Like Syracuse is like such a small town, so if one person's doing something and you see a group and now it's spread like Small example, the hoodies. The hoodies, Trayvon Martin incident. Now all the kids here, they wear their hoods on, and I got to tell them to take their hoods off all day. And we like, you weren't wearing your hood before.
Right.
So every day we got the young girls and the boys wearing hoods all day. And I'm like, this is like a trendy kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I think the food thing that's a generational thing. I know we grew up on the soul food, but again, that was based off of necessity, the things that we had then. And I also teach a cooking class with George Kilpatrick, Inspiration for the Nation. This Sunday we got our African American heritage cooking class that has no meat. There's no meat in the class, and the food is amazing. We found healthy ways to create. It comes with, we have a whole curriculum, right? So healthy foods, collard greens still involved, all of these grains, and there's healthy ways to cook all of this stuff.
Okay.
Everything we make doesn't have to be unhealthy.
Right.
Now, just remember that the foods that we had it was all out of necessity at some point. It was like, I can't eat this stuff. I'm only having this because this is all we had.
Right.
We're not living in those days anymore. So this is not all we have. There's new ways to make and cook everything, so we don't have to constantly eat soul food or fry. And I'm not saying don't have it. I'm just saying that it can't be every day because those foods are causing us to die young and have heart attacks at an early age. One of my clients had a stroke at 32.
32.
For high blood pressure.
Wow.
So, the hair is one thing, hair aside and all of that stuff. Get active, people. Let's stop making excuses as to why we look for an excuse. If it's not the hair, it's going to be, I don't have nothing to wear. I can't wear the shoes. We got to stop finding. I even get people asking me, I want to come work out, but I don't want to sweat. And I said, let's think about that for a second. Right? You got to sweat, right? This is
ain't gonna work.
So if you absolutely do not want to get active, then you need to find a healthier way to eat food because it has to be a balance of both. If you can't just go walking and then say, I want to build a bunch of muscle. You're not doing anything to build the muscle.
Right.
So, and you can't just exercise only and then go eat what you want. It doesn't work. They think I eat whatever I want. I'm like, no, I still got to eat clean. I might have a cheat day, but I can't eat like that on a consistent basis. You have to make a balance and create a lifestyle that works for you, that works for your schedule, that works for everything. But it can't be fast food daily because we already know where that's leading you. And you might not realize it now. Some people I get people that are younger, that, especially the teenagers I work with, and then people in their early 20s. Your metabolism's high, but every single year after the age of 24, you lose 4% of muscle. Now, in that void where that muscle disappears, guess what happens? You create fat. And if you're not active, what happens is year after year after year, you lose another percentage of muscle. Now, muscle helps to burn fat, all right? You're not going to just burn the fat off and build muscle. You do burn fat off by building muscle. So women out there, please go and lift weights. You won't get big and brolic. You don't have the amount of testosterone that men have, so you actually burn more fat from pushing, weight, lifting, squatting, sprinting. And if you can't sprint, that's fine, but lifting weights is highly, highly effective. Look at my clients. There's a reason why I'm successful and my business is successful is because we came up with a formula. We do it in a certain way. And we encourage resistance training and push-ups and sit-ups and squats and burpees and all of that stuff. And even if it's at a basic level until they're able to advance, it works. And we also encourage healthy eating, drinking water, green leafy vegetables, and lean protein. Now, it doesn't have to be meat, but it needs to be as lean as possible. So, hope that answers your question.
That answers my question. You answered all the questions. I think we gave them too many gems.
Yeah. This is all free, but the class ain't. So you gotta show up. Come on out.
Class.
Yeah.
So where can they reach you? Where can they get involved with H2 Fitness?
Man, the website is h2fitness.net. The phone number is 315-313-5882. I'm available for personal training. Also on that same phone number, Elaine is available for personal training. George is a member of the team, so you can reach George because George pretty soon is going to be doing some things on a bigger level. But if you need inspiration just in life in general, you can check him out on Inspiration for the Nation on Power 620 every Sunday, 9 a.m. Also, inspirationforthenation.com. That's his website. Follow GK on Instagram. Follow Elena at Lady H2 Fitness on Instagram. Elena D on Facebook. I am JT Houston on Facebook. So I hope that answers every single thing. And we have Twitter, H2 Fitness 1 on Twitter. I need to get more active on Twitter, but yeah, I'm on Twitter as well.
I'm gonna help you with that.
Yeah, we'll get it going.
I got you.
So yeah, let's get that going, and I hope you guys continue to support. Our goal is to uplift and change lives on a major level, not just African Americans, but all people in our community. And when I say our community, I mean anywhere I go or we go, we're trying to encourage you to stay active and get healthy and create better lives for not just you, but the people around you, because your team is what matters. So the people that are closest to you, you encourage them to be the best version of themselves possible, also while uplifting yourself. Make sure we build a community together, and that's just not you and another person. Encourage everybody in a positive way. Everybody you touch. And I got a Just Smile campaign coming out. So we're going to have on h2fitness.net the Just Smile movement. So you have Just Smile and Say Hello t-shirts coming out. So, that's big in the community. I want to change the dynamic and the look of the city. So keep supporting and keep smiling as often as you can. And show them pearly whites.
I don't care what he says. He's saving lives.
I hope so.
This is JT Houston. I'm Aarick Urban. That's